Hello, good evening. Happy Thursday evening, almost Friday in DGIF. How are ya? I've had a busy day, and it did not include a lot of outside time, unfortunately. I wish it had. It was nice weather here. Gonna go away. That's gonna go away for a while, but it's so early in the year. It really is been strange to have this warm weather. I have a good friend that I correspond with by letter. Lives in California, and actually she lives in Mojave, the desert area. And she got snow. She got snow, and I'm having 70-degree weather. Now we have that storm is coming, and I think it's going to miss us. But there's still snow around, but they're not predicting it for our area. But she was just over the moon because she doesn't get snow very often, and she was so excited about it and so happy. So I'm glad for her. I told her she could have it as long as she wanted it. It's very likely we'll get snow in March. We often do. We're going to be gone the first part of March to Florida, so other than if we have to drive through bad weather in the mountains going down, I might miss it. It's not a big concern. I said in my little alert post I should be knitting. I did knit quite a few hours today and yesterday on the Sock Madness sock. It is still a disaster. It is. I'm only halfway through the balloons on the one sock. It's just, I keep thinking I am going to find my rhythm. I keep thinking I'm going to work out this problem of tangled threads, having to untangle the 8 colors that you're using each row, and so, I don't know. It's just quite a difficult pattern, and it could be because I don't know Intarsia, but I think I could handle Intarsia with up to 3 colors and not right. I think it's Intarsia in the round. I'm so used to going back and forth, and we do go back and forth, and I have never done that in the round where you purl your even rows, and you knit your odd rows, purl your even rows, following a chart. So you go from left to right, and right to left, left to right, right to left, and I have the chart on Knit Companion. I have my marker on there. It's easy to see the color changes. That's not really the problem. The problem is all of the crosses. And I have to tell you a story on my husband. I was working on it today, and I sort of thought I might have a brainstorm about keeping the things separated. I'm using little balls. They're not butterflies, but they're butterfly size, right? They're little balls. And I thought I had a brainstorm of using an egg carton, poking a hole, and pulling the strand through there. The problem is, my balls are like a quarter of the size of an egg. And I didn't do it because I could visualize and see that if I put the ball in there and poke a hole in the lid and put all 8 of them coming up out of there and latch that yes, that keeps those strands separate. But the balls roll all around, and they will eventually tangle. Maybe not as quick as they tangle now. Maybe I should go ahead and try it. I did not. I just said, no, I'm not going to try it. So, my story on my husband. He says, you're knitting. Your yarn should not be getting mixed up, and twisted. Not anything about the fact I'm using 8 different color yarns and little balls, but I said, well, they do twist because whenever I have a color change, I have to twist them. He says, yeah, but when you go back the other way, you just untwist them. I was like, oh, that's stranding, right? This is not stranding. And he does not knit. I'm kind of surprised that he kind of knows about stranding. I have done that a fair amount, and I think you've seen me do it. So it might be that's what he was thinking of. But he was just like, they'll untwist when you go back. I was like, no, they won't. In fact, I got to twist them again. They're going to get double next twist, right? No, I have no clue. I am going to submit whatever I have. And I'm going to say, you know, there was no time that I did not stress over trying to read the chart and do this knitting. I have never knit anything so hard. And I've knit a lot. I've knit a lot of patterns, but it's all been flat stuff. I think it's the knitting in the round that's been doing it. So I have it going. It's I am. Let's see. I have to go to row 40. I have to go to row 42 on, and I say row because we're going back and forth on the chart. And I am. Oh man, I'm on 16. After days of knitting, I'm on row 16. So it's a sad thing. I wish they had picked a different pattern. Oh well. Should have been eating knitting, but I'm not gonna because I'm a little burned out on it after focusing on it 2 days and trying to get some done and not getting it done. I just, not making progress. So I'm gonna do something mindless. I'm gonna do this plying while I'm on the stream because I hate plying too. Let's just make it a triple crown day. I am going to ply my Fiber Advent bobbin, which has bunches of multiple colors, and this is an Aura bobbin. And if you were paying attention the last couple streams, I did a bobbin from the Aura that has two different sheep breeds on it, but they are very close in color. One is a blue-faced Leicester, it's gray-brown, and the other is a Romney, and it's a brown-gray. Right, they aren't the same color. The blue-faced Leicester is a tad lighter, and I don't care because there's 4 ounces of each of them, and I think there's should be plenty. That's what I'm plying tonight. Gonna make a whomping lot of yarn, that's for sure. So hello Kay, how are you tonight? Welcome. I hope you're doing well. I am not. Oh, I didn't turn my music down. Oh yeah, I did. Well, I'll turn it down a little bit more. I didn't even think about that while I was chatting away. Might have been too loud. Two nights ago, not last night, the night before, I had knit for hours on that sock, and I went to bed. I slept like a log. I have never slept like that for literally years now. I was brain dead, I think. It was not physical work, but it sure worked me. I was really tired. Now, last night I also knit quite a few hours, but I didn't sleep as well last night, which is why I'm more tired today. Okay, let's put this back here, like that. Somebody tell me how my mic is, please. I am showing that I'm registering, but I kind of got a weird message that said, "You have a new device. Do you want to plug it in?" And I said no, because I don't have a new device. Here we go. And it seems to be working, so that's good. Ah, good. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate it. I watched NCIS all day yesterday while I was knitting, because hubby was watching it. It's like, we're going to go see a movie tomorrow. Going to go see Avatar finally. It's been out for quite a while, but we just haven't made it there. Going to have my grandson Saturday afternoon, and we are taking him to the Mega Cavern, which is underground nearby here, and you drive or walk through it, and they have a great big animated dinosaur display. Doesn't that sound fun? You finished off one spindle spin. You have 3 more actively on spindles and 1 more to apply. You have a lot of spindles. I don't have any projects on any wheels. This is brand new for this, and I don't have any other projects going. We aren't going to have my grandson overnight. It's just until supper time. But we will see him next week too, because it's his birthday and we're going to Great Wolf. And it's on Thursday. His birthday is Wednesday. So we're going to be spending time with him at Great Wolf, which sounds like a lot of fun. I've been there. It is a lot of fun. Happy playing. Thank you. Hi, Knitter. How are you this evening? I can't believe it's Thursday already. This week went fast. I had planned to do a lot more and I didn't get anything done. Oh, you missed my rant. They are not coming along well. I'm on the chart with the balloons. I'm halfway through the balloons. In other words, the balloons take up to row 42 and I'm on 16, I think. It's just, I am having so much trouble with it. The one thing I did do today, I just been brainstorming all the time trying to figure out how to handle all those little balls of color yarn from tangling, and I finally undid the balls and let them be one long strand and drape it over the arm of my chair. You know, kind of. I tried putting them in order, but they still got tangled. But what I could do was pull on the end near the sock and pull it out of the bunch, and you know, I did get to continue a little faster that way, so I'll probably continue to do that, but I just cannot make any progress at all. And my yarn, you know, I picked a lot of colors. I didn't have to, but I picked a lot of colors, and I'm using all sock yarn, but it's not all high quality sock yarn. And some of it is this thing, it feels like lace yarn, really, even though it's a little bit thinner. It's not making a difference, except for where I'm having trouble keeping my tension. Then the thinner stuff looks kind of bad. Hi, All Crafty. Are you struggling too? Oh. And you know, I have not even taken the time. I have been reading the posts. I think that that's good, because sometimes there's some really good information in there, or tips or whatever, right? And they catch errors and post it there, but I haven't read for the last couple days either. I'm just going to keep at them, because like I said, I don't care if I qualify. I don't care if they don't even put me on cheerleader team now. I have hit, you know, to me, the Sock Madness is a challenge. Sometimes it's supposed to be a long challenge, right? Many socks and over a short time period and all that. This is a challenge, and I'm happy with Okay, it's a challenge, and this is my only challenge that I'm gonna do. That's the way I'm looking at it, right? I am gonna knit these socks. I had, I had this thought of getting these pair of socks knit, and my grandson, Grandma, I want those socks. I was like, no, denying your own grandchild, right? I am having I am having the most trouble. I think this is what you're talking about, the L1 and the L2 that crosses so that you join your circle and don't have, just an open seam going down there, like since you're going back and forth on the double pointed needles. I'm having a terrible time with that. And I have, I get to that point, I sit there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to want to use L2. That means L2 has to be here at the end, and L1 is what I start with. And it sounds so logical, and I cross it that way, and inevitably I get there, and the one that I set, I don't twist it right so that it can pull out. About 50% of the time I get it so that it can pull out, and I can do the knitting on those last stitches where, you're supposed to knit with it, or purl. So I fiddle with that. I fiddle with the tangles and all the colors of yarn, and it just, oh my gosh. And I'll tell it again at the very beginning here. Before you got here, I was talking about my husband watching today, and he's fussing about him tangled and trying to untangle, and he says, he says they shouldn't tangle. I don't understand why they tangle. I said, well, they tangle because every color you come to, you do a cross over. You cross it. He says, yeah, but when you go back, you uncross it. I was like, no, you don't uncross it. You cross it again. So I think he has seen me do flat color work. I didn't think he really understood the concept. He's not a knitter. But it was like, they'll just uncross when you go back. I wish it was so easy. This yarn that I am applying right now looks exactly like, it won't once it starts changing colors. It's the grays and these the part of it is the gray base of the one bobbin. But I had a vest that was commercially made. It was commercially milled. That was gray. I just loved that vest. And this yarn looks exactly like it. That's what I liked. It had that just little specks of color, right, and highlights and stuff like that. I'm making that yarn, and I'm really happy about that. But I don't think this yarn is gonna look that way all the way through. So I don't think I'm gonna like it as a vest. I may be surprised. I may find out that I do. And I should have enough. I had hoped And I probably will be. I want to get the balloon section done um, before next week, because we're going to be going to and doing things and staying at a hotel Thursday night, Thursday night, or Friday, and I'm not going to have that time. In fact, that might be when it ends. You know, I think that might be when it actually ends. I might have to submit it before we go to them that. Now that I think about it. Because it was a week and a day yesterday. And it'd be, yeah, I'm going to just submit it, what I got, before we go. I won't have to worry about it then. Hi, Miss Bandit. How are you this evening? I am okay. I am frustrated because I can't knit a sock for Sock Madness. I'm just having a terrible time with it. And I have spent a huge amount of my day and week and time and everything working on it. I choose to do that. I'm not complaining. The week didn't go as good as I thought it would. But we're going to go see a movie tomorrow afternoon. Going to go see Avatar. And get something to eat after that. Going to take my grandson on Saturday to go through a big cavern that they have set up here nearby. It's a mega cavern with animatronic dinosaurs, real life, great big moving dinosaurs. That's gonna be awesome. It costs $20 a person to do it, but it'll be good. Yeah, I know. I think it's going to be really cool. They take the same area at Christmas and decorate just with a million Christmas lights. And I haven't seen that yet either. And I want to see that. We keep saying every year we're going to go. And it's a very popular thing. So, you know, it's kind of hard to get tickets. Lots of people do it. This cavern has been around, of course, forever and ever, but it's actually under the city, and for a long time, I mean, since the 20s and 30s, 1920s and 30s, the city used it as an archive area for their records and stuff. I mean, they owned it and they just stored stuff there. But then I guess somebody decided that it might be a moneymaker and found some commercial use for it. You're determined to figure out on this sock, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I I am gonna have to do so many. Like when I cut the ends, finish a balloon and I cut the ends, I always go and look at the balloon, and I've had a couple places where I've done a duplicate stitch over it. Where I didn't get the stitch right for some reason. So, but the going back and forth on the rounds is really throwing me off. Especially because it's not connected. I mean, I could flip it over, but if I don't do all that twist, then I get this area that's not connected. So I'm going to have to seam that, and I have dropped stitches because I'm working on double pointed needles. I ordered 2 9-inch circulars in size 2. They're not going to be here till Saturday, but I mean, I'm just going to submit whatever I get done on this one sock and finish it. And then, hopefully the next one will look a lot better than this one. Fortunately, it's not. I can work on it while hubby's watching TV, which is all the time. So sometimes, if I'm trying to knit something really complicated, I have to go to a different room, and it's not comfortable. And I have been able to stay comfortable while I've been knitting on it. You just want to be a cheerleader. I'm not even sure I'm going to make it to that, to be honest with you. I mean, I have to submit something, but I guess that if you submit anything that at least is true to the pattern, they'll make you a cheerleader, I guess. But I am not going to, cheerleaders don't compete with patterns anyway. I am not going to go on to the next pattern. I want to finish this one. I almost did not do Sock Madness this year. In fact, I missed the first 3 days because I was just like, I am not going to do it. I think I told my friend I wasn't going to do it. I think I said something on the stream, and then I changed my mind. But I changed my mind and before I really looked at the pattern, and then I looked at the pattern and I thought, well, all right. I didn't think it'd be that bad. It's a lot of background knitting, straight plain. Yeah, anyway. Hi, Knots and Stitches. How are you this evening? Nice crowd tonight. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate that. Give my mood a lift a little bit. That's nice. I really appreciate that. My cat has been so upset with me. He walks by Yeah, that's good, Mass Bandit. Newman walks by my chair. You know, I've got this knitting all over my lap and all these tiny balls and everything. And you know what he wants. I can see his look in his face. I'm jumping up there, right? And I just say, no. And he stands there and he looks. And I say, no. And he turns around and walks away. I mean, he just like, no lab. So I do try and give him lap time before I get to knitting. There would not be any place for him to. He has been desperate enough to sit on the armchair, on the arm of the chair, but he doesn't stay there long. Spin and chill night, yeah. Are you spinning knots too? This is just like mindless. Usually it really bothers me, but I'm pooped tonight, so don't bother me. I used to think I lived in the heart of horse country. That's actually quite a bit southeast of me, different area. It's turning out that, I mean, all of Kentucky's known for its bourbon, but we are getting a lot of distilleries around here, and the exit right down the road from us is going to build a welcome center for what they call the Bourbon Trail. So it's turning out to be the heart of bourbon country now. I guess I can't complain. I could say if I had my choice, I'd have a beach instead, but you know, not in our winter weather. Ooh, I'm coming into yellow. I'll brighten things up here a little bit. It's going to be more blatant barber pole. This might be cute if you could find a pattern that had squares. I could do mosaic squares, I suppose. I hate cutting the yarn, but because of these different colors. I am so disappointed in my new camera. Of course, I didn't pay a lot for it. You can't see any of the color on that. I mean, it's just gray. You can't see anything. It's really bad. I can't find settings for it. I've looked, I've poked around the computer. Can't find it. It's very likely I need to adjust some of the settings. I went to settings and I went to devices. I can find the camera, but I can't find anything that will let me adjust the properties. Which probably is because it's so cheap they just don't make it adjustable, I suppose. This yellow has sparkles in it. It's the only one of the Rologs that had sparkles. The other thing I did on that sock was, I mean, there are a gazillion ends from where you start your yarn in your different colors and then cut your yarn as you finish that color. And they're all on the inside of the sock. So today I grabbed any end I could find and held them together as a bunch and tied a string around them. So they are tied as a bouquet inside that sock. That has helped a little bit too. Because I found one time I was knitting with the end, right, instead of the live yarn. The thing, all crafty, you say you're determined to figure it out. The thing is, I have not yet ever had like an aha moment with it. It seems like every row is a struggle. Oh, I need to take a break. Do a little stretch. I can feel it in my shoulders. Really feel it in my shoulders. Oh, man. Do a little dance. Armchair dancing. It's a thing. We're into lots of blues now. I do not understand why that doesn't register any color. I mean, there is a little color. You can see the blue now. It's because it's rotating. See, that sharpens up if I'm just... Yeah, it's because it's rotating. And it makes it... That's why it looks monotone color. Oh, you've been watching someone who's going for her Master Spinner 3. And she's doing her final project. Oh, yeah, that Spinning Master thing is a very extensive program. They want absolute control over what the fiber does and what it makes. In other words, you can't just spin yarn and say, this is what this fiber, spun. They tell you, we want a yarn that is 20 reps per inch, and we want, out of 1 ounce, so many yards, and it's and I don't know whether they actually get into like the master's research or not, or if it is all outlined and you do exactly what the projects they set up. But because I've never really looked into it, but it's very extensive. Is she on Twitch or what is she on? YouTube probably. She's on Twitch? Cool. Can you give me her name? The name? I would like to look into that. You don't watch much YouTube? Yeah. Sounds very interesting. Mrs. Beekeeper. Huh. Not her. I'm going to go look her up right now. She's online now. Go pause the music a minute in case there's vocal. No, gotta watch some ads here. Mrs. Keys 10. All right. Oh, I'm not plugged in. I can't hear it. Very cool. Okay, I'm going to put a follow on.
Yarn Spinner's Tales? Yarn Spinner's Tale. Hello? Welcome. or this is really a dignified pose. You just stopped because one of your viewers told you that I was going for the certification? I am. I'm currently completing my level 3 homework. I'll be registering for level 4. You're stirring so you want to say? Okay. Nice to meet ya.
I hate that. I mean, that is like a hit and run, but thank you, Mass Bandit. I do appreciate that. And it sounds like she's got another whole level to go, so it'll be good to follow her and watch those. A new spinner to watch. I don't watch too many spinners. I don't watch much Twitch, but Snoring Cat's about the only one. And that's not true. JK knits for you when she spins. And KB Fibers. So I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but I do watch a number of them. It's kind of like a full-time job, you know, or any kind of, like any kind of school, really. We are going to travel south around the 7th of March, and on March 4th and 5th, if that's the Saturday and Sunday, I think that's the right dates, in Raleigh, there's a Fiber Fest. No, there's a stamp show. It's a stamp show. I'm a stamp collector. It's a stamp show. So I was trying to work out the logistics. Let's see if we could add a couple extra days and go over to the stamp show and go down. And I'll tell you what, I don't want to be gone forever. I could be, I suppose, but it doesn't feel like the right thing to do, especially to Newman. So I gave it up. And hubby and I want to stay one day at a beach, stay overnight while we're down there, and that's not too bad. That's an hour and a half. But, so he's already made those reservations, and we'll stay there Monday and Tuesday night. We're going to actually stay there 2 nights. So that's going to be nice. That'll be a nice vacation. I don't think I've ever been to Raleigh. I like the Carolinas. You know, I've been to a couple different places, and I go Asheville to go to SAF, and it's pretty country. We've gone over to Myrtle Beach a number of times. You know, I like the Carolinas. You hated North Carolina? Really? Oh, yeah. That can happen. I will say we were always in tourist towns. You know, we weren't in the regular stream of their life. I've driven through some pretty bad weather in South Carolina too. Oh, for being a Yankee, yeah, boy, yeah, that's too bad. I would not pass for Southerner either. I wouldn't fit in either. Oh, let me turn the music back on. Where are you? Where are you? It's my loud, because I was listening to her. Sorry about that. Hope I didn't blow out anybody's ears. You thought you were past all that nonsense, but evidently not. Yeah. No, evidently not. I'm really glad I chose this gray brown. I like that. I like the yarn a lot. bobbin always looks more full in real life than it does on the camera. I suppose that's because I don't tend to fill them, you know. You can't film really all the way to the rim. So I see a lot of the wood of the bobbin looking directly at it, where you don't, looking at it sideways on the camera, but I had expected I would use 2 bobbins anyway. There's going to be one split cut in the yarn. Pick an end of the color. A color. My hands are getting tired. I keep switching the one that's pinching, but I was thinking about you. I see you on Discord and hadn't seen you come by. I'm so glad to see you. Welcome. Good evening to you. Just about, I got another 30 minutes or so that I will stream. So how goes it? I know you have been going down the rabbit hole. And I'm sure loving it. Did you get to a fiber fair yet, or any? I forget when that was going to happen. You're probably in ads. Sorry about that. Asking you all these questions. You are so far down the rabbit hole. You ordered food and had lips to survive. Yeah. I know. Enjoy. I love it when something makes you happy and makes me happy, you know. That just little nudge of, oh, I really like this. You're going to the Carolina. I was just talking about that. Yeah, we're going. Yeah, okay. So I had my story backwards. I was talking about that earlier, and I did look at the Carolina Fiber Fest and talk about going over to Carolina before we went down to Florida, and decided that was too much. The stamp collecting thing was Knoxville, Tennessee, which is actually more on our way, but requires one more stay, so I gave that up too. Yeah, I was looking at going to the Carolina Fiber Fest and gave it up. We couldn't leave early. It'll be your first, yeah. The reason I looked into it is because my one that I usually go to almost every year is in April, and it's in Indiana, and I can do it, but it's easier on me if we spend the night before, go to the fiber fair, and then drive home the next day. But it is now, for the first time in 30 years, I think, defunct. They are not holding it this year because the people who put it together from the beginning through many years retired, that several elderly women, and I say that they are of my age, they're not like elderly, but they're retired women, took it up and kept it going for a couple years, and they said last year they were looking for somebody to manage it and set it up and be, I don't know what it would involve. I can't imagine what it would involve. I mean, it's kind of self-going because it's been on the same date in April, the second Saturday, Friday and Saturday in April forever. But that was the one I used to vend at. For a number of years, I had a booth, and I sold mostly Angora fiber because I was raising Angora rabbits, but I sold other things, you know, and yarn and alpaca and processed fiber that I made and stuff like that. But I was working, and it just was way too hard to get inventory ready and good. And I missed being able to shop. You know, hubby would watch the booth maybe, you know, and I'd go flying around it, and I didn't enjoy it, right? It wasn't what I really would like to do if I'm at a fiber fair. So I only did it for 3 years, I think. But that one isn't happening this year. So I was kind of looking for another one to go to, and we were talking about the Carolina because I haven't been to it. You've fallen down that rabbit hole too. You raise chickens, quail, pigs. You could totally have some cute fluffball rabbits around. Well, listen, if you raise Angora rabbits, first of all, they're hard to find. Not many people raising them there are 4 different breeds. Satins are the hardest to harvest fiber from. The giants are the best, the biggest, and you get the most fiber. The French and English are that nice in between. So you got to do a little research and looking into it and deciding what you want to do. But what I was going to tell you is I did a podcast for 13 years before I started streaming, so way back, okay? And I was raising rabbits during that time, and I talk a lot about raising Angora rabbits. So if you're interested, listen to those podcasts. It's under Yarn Spinner's Tales, anywhere you get podcasts. Well, I won't say that, but just Google Yarn Spinner's Tales, and you'll find the podcasts. And start early, like around the early ones. The sound quality does get better, I promise you, but that's when I was talking about the rabbits. Yeah. So go fall down that road. I loved raising rabbits. I would have up to 30 because that's the when we bought this place, there was a milking barn. They used to milk on this farm, and we got the original farmhouse and barns as part of the property when we bought it. And I converted that milking barn into a rabbit barn, and I built the cages, and I had 3 lines of cages, 8 cages, so 24. So when I say I could have up to 30, that's right, I had 4 on another wall, and I had an upright one of 4. So that's where I could get the 30 rabbits. But sometimes they were litters, right, and the little ones could stay together for a while. But mostly you couldn't put bucks and does together. You couldn't put adults together. You have to have pretty much a individual. Now, some people use the Warren idea, right? where they just are loose. They're not caged. They're loosed in a confined area, and there's nothing wrong with that, except that their fur gets a lot more messy, right? They're very clean though. They clean themselves like cats, so they're very clean. And I was up waiting for I wait for them to molt, and then I would pluck the fiber. But you can shear it, not with clippers, but with scissors. You can cut it off, and you need to, or they'll die from ingesting the fiber. Get a wool block, and they will die. So you have to groom them, and you have to take that fiber off. It's a lot of people that when I would run into them, I used to go to the state fair here. And I'd take rabbits because I would show the rabbits. They'd be at the state fair to be shown and judged. And on the weekend day, after the judging was over, I would go in there. I had to go in every day to feed and water them anyway. But I would go in there and I would find a table and put down a chair, just a camping chair that I carried with me. And I would set that rabbit on my lap, and I would sit there and just pull handfuls of fiber, and I had my spinning wheel in front of me, and I would be spinning it. Now, you talk about people. I got one day, I talked so much, I got hoarse, and my daughter happened to be coming to the fair, and she came along, and I told her, I said, you don't get to go see the fair. I said, you got to sit here and talk to these people because you know what I'm doing, and I can't talk anymore. I just can't talk anymore. There were so many people just like, what are you doing? It's awesome. It was awesome. I got to push my two loves, right? Spinning and Angora rabbits. So that's my Angora story. And boy, I'll tell you what, I miss the baby bunnies. Oh my God, they're so cute. But the bottom line is you gotta make sure you have, don't breed unless you've got room to keep them or you can market them, because that's, yeah, you're going to get a lot of rabbits, and you're going to have a lot of sadness too. You can have ones that don't make it, and raising any livestock that's that way, just like chickens. I'll go back to spinning, plying here. Oh, that's good. Thank you. And I hope that, okay, I raised satin, and I raised French. Those were the two I raised. I would say giants are probably the most common to find, but don't be surprised if you have to travel to find livestock, depending on where you are. But sometimes the state fairs or shows, Google for rabbit shows near you, something like that. Those are the best ways to run into it. And you know what? Rabbits do make good pets. You can have just one, and it can be in the house. You have to monitor it because they like to chew. So they're outside of the cage time can be has to be monitored. But they'll be social, and they're prone to be social anyway because you groom them a lot, right, and handle them a lot. So they're if you just want one, that's good. You're doing your second ever plying. It's really hard to get it balanced. Your first time, I way overspun the ply from a chain ball. Okay, I don't make chain balls. You can see I have my bobbin down here on either side of me. And are you plying with an electric? Sometimes it's a little easier. I don't think you have a treadle wheel, do you? I think you will find that it's easier with a treadle wheel. You get a rhythm going with your feet like I'm doing now that is very consistent. It just, you get a back and forth motion that's very, just the same thing and very consistent. And that's how it ends up. But I don't always have consistent singles. I'll have a thick area, and that will make it look inconsistent. And the other thing is, after you wash it, it'll settle in and look a little better. Yeah, you only have electric. That's what I thought. Yeah, go slower than you think you want to go. Try it if you can. Sometimes you can't get it to draw in if it's going too slow. I know that. That's the problem with electric. But you're getting a Daedalus, right? If you are, I'm jealous. I'm not. I didn't try to get one. It's not that I can't get one. It's just that I already have my Roberta. I'm not going to buy another electric. I am so awesome. Jealous. That is just awesome. I'm really glad. You picked well. You did. You picked very well. So that'll be great. And it's real good. Electric, it can be really good for plying. I ply on my Roberta a lot because it's so long. It takes forever. You're checking your emails 3 times a day to see if there's a shipping notification. Oh, Christmas! That makes me happy. You have family around you? What do they think about all this new to you spinning and stuff? Hubby thinks that I'm totally overboard, and there is, and he is correct, spinning items in every single room of the house except the bathroom and kitchen. So it is the way it goes. He's never expressed any interest in doing it himself, though. No family posts, but your dad thinks it's awesome. Okay. He even sent you some articles. Oh, I'm growing cotton. Did you ever? Were you watching when I was growing cotton this year? I have the cotton. I grew a cotton plant. It had to be inside, and I can't remember. I thought I put some pictures on Discord, but maybe I didn't. But anyway, I picked all the bowls that were ripe, but then I have some that they didn't open completely, so I'm not going to try and use the cotton, but they're kind of cool. See, these are dried. They're kind of cool. So I have them sitting by my desk. And one leaf. So there's like that right there's a bud. that it isn't even open. And then those you can see green inside. It never ripened to white. The plant has a natural life cycle, and so it was dying by the time those came on, you know. But I think I got 8 white bowls that popped open. I haven't done anything with them. I can't spin cotton. I mean, I can't spin any kind of commercial cotton that you buy. It's never good. And, okay, your cotton that's grown, I'm sorry, I hope you don't think I'm like a know-it-all. I really don't mean that at all. This is, when I know something about something, I want to tell you. I want to tell people. Cotton that's grown out in the fields is so short, and it's intentional. They have bred out any kind of length because of the cotton gin. It's would tangle if it was too long. So your standard cotton field down south, I thought the same thing. I took a class on spinning cotton. I still can't spin cotton, but it just, you know. So now there's Sea Island cotton and hybrid cottons that are brown and different colors that you can buy that spinners grow. Okay, so that's the cotton you want to look for. And that's what I have here. It was from seeds that was white cotton, which is the Sea Island cotton. So I don't know that, I mean, to me, it's not long, right? But I've never really had any commercial cotton boll. Actually, I saw it in the class. She showed us the different kinds of cotton and why commercial cotton was not good and so short and everything. She passed around samples, but that's all I've ever seen. So that's, yeah, the word of the wise. If you want to look more at your fiber fair, because that's actually where I got my starts, my seed starts. Now, I got a whole bunch of seeds off of that, and I have a good seed starter, so now I'm going to try again this year. In fact, I need to start those pretty soon, and try growing. I had 2 plants in one pot. I don't know if it makes any difference or not, but they had, interestingly, different colored flowers. One plant had pink flowers and one had white, which, when they formed cotton bolls, they looked the same. So I don't know what's up with that, but I thought it was pretty interesting. If I find pictures, if they're not in Discord, I may have pictures I can put in there, because I thought I took some. My thing is, I need to learn how to spin a support spindle. See, that's perfect for spinning cotton and stuff like that, and I never have developed that knack because I don't practice. I haven't really. I haven't spun it yet. No, knitter. They're dried. They're in the bowl, and they're in a plastic bag. And yeah, that's something that's on my to-do list that I always seem to have some other project going on, you know. I was more interested in the cycle of the plant. It was just so cool to see it grow up in the seed, and I had no idea what the leaves would look like. I had no idea what the flowers would look like, right? I didn't know how it made the cotton boll. The whole thing was just fascinating to watch. You like gardening a lot? Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I like the life cycle part of it. You know, I like to see that growth. Oh, knitter. It's great. I have parsley and I got to transplant it. It's still in the Arrow Garden, but I've got parsley and dill. Wait, let me change this first because I'm going to have my hands full. Oh, I'm on that. I forgot. I'm still on there. Okay, the light is not on. It's on a cycle. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, there you go. So this is called an Arrow Garden. And there's little cones of dirt here with the seeds in it. So as you can see, I have parsley and then dill in the middle. And that dill, I mean, I've got to plant those two. The third one is petunias, because that's what came with the kit. So I'm growing petunias. But I'm going to take these all out, put them in pots, and start something else here, seed-wise. Some other herb. It's working good. Not a lot of gardening at once, but it's better than I've ever been able to do with, like seed pots and a grow light. My daughter got me that for Christmas. Let's go back to my wheel. You just traded your neighbor some quail to borrow his tractor and rototiller. Good. Yeah. Getting your garden tilled up is a big part of it, depending on how big you do. We have 2 raised beds, and that's all I do now. So I'm very limited in what I garden. Spring vegetables, lettuce, chard. I don't grow spinach because it won't grow here. Peas, spring peas. Don't grow any of the root vegetables because they don't do well. And then I grow some squash and tomatoes. So it's pretty limited for my little plot. But you can't beat a fresh tomato, I'll tell you. Best thing in the world. Thank you, Knitter. It is fun. I have a big rosemary and a big lilac in pots that go out on my porch every summer. So they are perennials that have been around a while. Other than that, what I'll do is probably buy a couple and put them in pots, and they're on the porch during summer, and then I bring them in for the winter. Oh, I have sweet woodruff. Sweet woodruff is really it's really weird because we use it once a year for May wine. May wine is something I make May 1st, which happens to be my birthday. May wine's a German thing. And you take a wine and you put strawberries and the sweet woodruff in. Now, the sweet woodruff has a specific taste. I can't begin to describe it, but it's sweet woodruff. It is the specific taste. And that and the strawberries flavor the the wine, and we drink the wine on May 1st. It's a tradition. In fact, I usually clean the porch up after winter, the week before May 1st, and I always call it our porch opening because by then, yes, we can sit on the porch. I sat on the porch today. It was so warm, but the porch is not clean and really very nice right now. It's just needs a good sweeping and wiping all the chairs and tables down and that sort of thing. May not wait till May. Depends. That's it. Berliner Weiss. Yes. Right. It was delicious. Never heard of May wine. Sounds great. It's the same thing except they put strawberries in it and they use a white wine. But Berliner Weiss is a white wine, and that's exactly what it is. We can't find that. I mean, specific white wine. We use, well, in fact, hubby is not a wine drinker, so we get a sweeter wine. We don't get a real dry. Plus, I sugar the strawberries, and he'll join me with our porch blessing. But you know, it's not. He's not a wine drinker. But I have never used Woodruff for anything else as far as cooking or flavoring anything. And it just, I thought I lost it. We had a cold snap in December, and our furnace could not warm our house. And it was like 60 in the house, 55 to 60 degrees, and that poor Woodruff and a few other of my houseplants. I lost one, but the others are coming back. But yeah, it was too cold. It was too cold for them. And the Woodruff died. It turned brown, but then it came up from its root. So it's doing all right again. I used to grow it outside, but I kept losing it. I'd plant it someplace and then it would wander, you know, and then there wouldn't be, it would come back a year or two and then there wouldn't be any Woodruff there, and I didn't know where it went. So, or maybe the winter was too hard for it, I don't know. But so I finally went ahead and put it in a pot, kept it in a pot. If I had my dreams come true, I would have a greenhouse. I've always wanted to put a greenhouse on this property, but, you know, it's just, oh my gosh. It's a big project. Because I'm not talking the little ones that you buy and that are 8x8 or what are they, 4x4, 6x6, 4x6, I don't know. I'm talking a real greenhouse. Well, I'm down into the greens and yellows now on this. I still have to go through the oranges and reds, but I made a fair dent in this bobbin in the plane. I knew I would not get it all on one bobbin. What I don't know is if I'm going to have enough of the single that I'm plying with it, and I don't know if I have any other fiber. I used all I had of my already prepped blue face Lester that I had bought at one point, and prepped Romney. Like I said at the very beginning of the stream, the blue face Lester was brown gray and the Romney was gray brown, because they weren't exactly the same, but they were gray brown and blue and brown gray. They're working just fine. I really like this yarn. I'm very, very, very happy with it. The other bobbin is from a Fiber Advent box that I bought 2 years ago and just spun recently. And it had 2 row logs in a rainbow progression over the 24 days of December. And then, unfortunately, a navy blue 4-ounce thing of fiber. So I didn't want to ply this with the navy blue. I thought a gray brown would be better, and I'm agreeing. I love it. I think it looks really great. It's hard to see right now, but eventually there'll be a good picture of it on Discord. I'm past my 2 hours though. I need to go ahead and say goodnight. It's been wonderful. I love it when lots of people come by and talk. Yeah, I'm not going to get it all in one bobbin, that's for sure. I just have greens and yellows left. It's been a busy chat night. I know, Mass Panda, but I like that. I don't think I have enough. I know I don't have enough. I am going to have to find more to ply with. In fact, this is going to get finished up pretty quick. I might get this on this bobbin. I will figure that out. Watch some stuff. Guitar Nut, you are not chatty. I love chatting with anybody, especially if I'm not spinning. If I'm spinning, or especially when I'm playing, I'm not thinking about anything. But sometimes when I'm crafting on Tuesday mornings, I have to pay attention to I'm cross stitching or whatever. But not when I'm spinning. I love chatting. I would have a spinning guild. You're a chronic lurker. Oh. Yes, thank you, Mass Bandit. I do love the chatter. And I love lurkers, too. I haven't heard a peep out of Kay tonight. She's always here, but, she must be focusing on maybe she's focusing on the sock man is sock. I don't know. I keep pulling the cord here, and it's upset about it. The cord that's attached to this. Okay, I need to go. I will be back Sunday afternoon. Another good time to chat and talk and spin. Is Lurky. Well, you're awake anyway. Have a good night, Kay. Thanks for lurking. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all. You take care. I will see you Sunday afternoon and have lots more to chat about. Bye.